We got ourselves a 77 MGB in the shop that's got some electrical issues, and we got one in particular we're going to show you that was a really stupid, simple issue, but not necessarily always easy to find, but completely preventable if you're paying attention while you're installing some of these aftermarket parts. So when the owner dropped it off to me, one of the complaints was he kept blowing this fuse right here. Of course, when you blow that fuse, you lose turn signals, brake lights, and all the gauges and everything. So he was not really comfortable trying to drive the car, and it was just random. Didn't know when it was going to happen. So we got in here, started looking, and now a previous owner had chopped up on some of this wiring here, trying to play with, there's a sneak voltage issue and they didn't know what they were doing, and chopped this stuff up and had it hooked up in a way that didn't actually do anything different. So we've got it hooked back up something like it was supposed to be, just by moving it back over here. But once we made sure that this side was okay, we started looking at this side, which is the two green wires and the two circuits here. And we isolated it to this one circuit was where the short was at. This circuit goes to the induction heater, which isn't hooked up because it's got a Weber carb on it now, but it was wrapped around the oil line to where it was starting to melt there. And there's some particular, this thing hanging out here, you want to tape that up. When you tape it up and zip tie it somewhere or whatever you're going to do to make sure that's not against anything. But that wasn't the issue. It also goes over to the washer pump, down to the backup light switch, and also over to the PDWA switch here, which isn't even hooked up right now, and the brake light switch. So I'll show you what the problem ended up being. So the problem ended up being with the brake light switch. Now this is an aftermarket switch, and if you look at the end of this, see how it's got that new style bullet connector that's really long? Well, when you plug it into here, as far as it'll go in, see how much of it still sticks out? Well, after installing it, they just stuffed the wire back in here, and it was sitting there just shorting out against the brake pedal box. So sometimes when you were driving it would short out, sometimes it wouldn't, and then randomly blow fuses. So that's one thing you can check on when you're installing something like this. Make sure that the wire is sitting in a position where it cannot touch something, or tape it up, or like I'm going to do, we'll take this, because I don't like these anyway, and we'll actually crimp on the proper bullets on the end of it.